Should we just all like at the same time go, welcome to the Jillvary
Jillvary
crossover episode.
Oh my gosh, it's like the 70s when when like Magnum PI would be on Murder, She Wrote. That's what's happening right now. You guys are Angela Lansbury and we're Tom Selleck.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, do you? Well, welcome.
I used to watch The Young and the Restless a lot. And yeah, sometimes they'd have like crossovers with The Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh yeah. With I was just it's funny. I was talking to my mom and my wife about soap operas, and I didn't know if they existed anymore. Are soap operas still going?
There's a couple still thriving.
That's incredible to me. They seem like they've been replaced by like the talk shows have totally destroyed.
I think they got replaced by reality TV.
Yeah, they've been replaced by British cooking shows.
Yeah. I think it was like reality shows where people just hooking up all the time. Then they didn't need the fake people to hook up all the time.
I had a college, I took like a bullshit college class, like theater or something. I just thought it'd be easy, and it was so hard. And I think it was because the college professor was like, everyone takes my class thinking they're going to get easy credit. And he made it like the hardest class ever. But he would get all uppity about like, oh, all TV is bad. All movies are bad. Only real theater is the only real acting, like in a play, like live theater, except for soap operas. He had like all this mad respect for soap opera actors. He's like, I got to memorize so much material every day because they do a new episode every day. It's insane.
It seems like a lot of work. And it's funny because I had a friend in LA and he used to refuse to audition for commercials. He's like, no, I'm a real actor. I don't audition for commercials. But then I never saw him book a job for like 3 years.
Right. Yeah.
Rising guy.
The show has really started, right? Did we already start it?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Usually Christina starts our show. And since we're just jumping in, maybe you can say what we're doing so that our fans know that we're
yeah, I know. I was like, did we just jump right into a podcast? Like, no beginning.
Also, I'm waiting for Johnny to open my.
Oh yeah, I got mine.
You have to do our toast.
Oh yeah.
Drink
first.
I think you should say, Christina, because you always open Jill in, so maybe you can say.
Okay. This is where I normally would say, welcome back to another powerful episode of Jill and Up. I'm one of your hosts, Christina Wagasha. With me, as always,
Jen Murphy.
And since it's such a special day, we're doing a crossover episode with one of our favorite podcasts, the Cavalry. Guys, introduce yourselves.
I feel like you were still. Oh no, yeah. I'm Andrew.
I'm Johnny. You did say it right though, Christina. That's
I know, but I felt like I could hear you thinking about it as you were saying the word. You were like you said every letter individual. The Cavalry.
I am so notorious
because I do that too.
I do it because when I say it wrong and or if I Google or if I type in your podcast wrong, then all the religion podcasts come up.
I know. We keep waiting for that to benefit us somehow, that we're going to get these super zealot fans, but it's not working yet.
All right, let's crack it open.
For our drinks.
Oh yeah.
I think me and Andrew are on the wine.
Andrew and Christina have the wine. There you go. What are you drinking? I got hazy IPA all day.
I got strawberry lager.
Ooh.
Whoa.
How refreshing.
I know.
That one coming.
I thought Johnny was just going to I have strawberry juice. I did not.
Well, why don't we do a toast, you guys?
Yeah.
A toast. Here's to losing thousands of dollars in cruise ship work.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers to that. Yeah.
Cheers to that.
I had just started working for the cruise ship like 3 months prior, and I was already planning on getting a new apartment. I was like, I'm finally making money.
That's so funny because like I don't know. It is that thing where you can complain about anything. But all I did was whenever I'd work on a cruise ship, all I did was complain. Like Christina knows, Johnny knows, like I would just nonstop complain about the way it was run, how we're treated, everything. And then like they take it away and you're like, whoa boy.
We're in trouble.
Time to start a podcast, I guess.
Thus the Cavalry was born.
Right. Yeah. So.
Oh, you never did this till the pandemic?
No, this was born out of the pandemic. And it was kind of like.
Ago.
What?
8 weeks ago.
38 weeks ago. Yeah, this is our 38-week anniversary. And we're so excited because yeah. Yeah. And we're so excited because like we hadn't missed every other podcast I've done is like crashed and burned by this point. This is for sure the longest podcasting relationship I've had. So,
same with me and Jen. This is my third podcast, I think, or fourth, I think. But me and Jen, and we came back together because of the pandemic too. Because now that everybody's doing everything on Zoom, it doesn't matter that I'm in New York. And I love your guys' podcast so much. I listen every Monday. I mean, I've just been laughing out loud in Williamsburg. That episode you did where you had to like explain to your kids why they can't listen to Michael Jackson anymore.
Oh, I heard that one too.
I like literally texted people and made them listen.
Wait, Johnny, do you not remember that? Johnny never remembers he always has to intro every topic like, now you tell me if I've brought this up before. No memory. Yeah, Johnny, remember you had to tell your kids why Michael Jackson's bad, and that's
I still haven't done it. I still haven't told them.
What do you tell them now if it comes on the radio? You just let it play?
Well, no. Edie will be like, can you say what Michael Jackson did? And I'm like, no, not yet. Say, come on, I'm old enough. I'm like, no, you got to stop asking.
I had never heard your podcast, and Christina texted me and was like, you have to go listen to this podcast. That was the first time I heard it.
I love that, like, you're waiting for a certain milestone in her life to tell her the horrible. It's like, okay, it's Sweet 16. Happy birthday. Michael Jackson raped a bunch of kids. That's your present.
Here's the keys to your car. Have a great life.
Yeah. Super sweet. It was like MTV. Remember the Sweet 16 MTV show? No. That was never one of the presents. But yeah, so like I don't know how we do this, Jill and Off. What would you guys be doing now? This would be like our opening remarks,
be talking
I
about
guess.
Christina's farts or something.
Or no, we'd be interrupting each other and talking over each other. So it's so nice to have two new people to talk over.
Well, let me tell you this, because I was listening to your episode 69, and I have to admit I was a little weirded out because you guys were talking about 69ing, of course, and then you switched to talking about vintage clothes, and then Jen goes, all of our male listeners are probably like, yeah, go back to talking about 69, and I was like, hey, she was reading my mind. That was a much more intriguing topic than this vintage clothes trading.
I know, I did feel bad about that. I was like, oh no, this took a wrong turn.
I know.
Well, you can't open an hour-long podcast with 69 and expect to keep up the intrigue.
Yeah, everybody knows you have to do the dirty at the end. You don't open dirty.
Yeah, it's like stand-up set. Yeah, you can't open with,
Hey, you're pulling a Louis C.K. opening with your closer.
That goes along with it.
I think me and Jen are really nervous. You guys always make really good clips too. And Jen started making clips for our show. And so we're always very concerned. I think sometimes when we're chatting, like, was that clip worthy? Always looking for the clips, like in the moment.
Johnny is the one who cuts up the clips. I have nothing to do with the clip choosing. He does a good job, but
it's always very different. Re-listening to it later, I always feel like the podcast is much better than after we do it. I'm like, oh, that was better.
I know. Sometimes Johnny will be like, after we're done, he'll be like, wow, good episode. And I'm like, is he being sarcastic or not? It's like, I thought it was pretty good, but that sounded really sarcastic.
No, I never say that sarcastically.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because sometimes I get deflated because he's like, whoa, that was great. I can't read you. It's that long distance thing. It's hard to tell sometimes.
It's like,
like a human text message. You just can't tell what the meaning is behind it.
That's exactly what it.
Unless you put
the sarcasm. Yeah, we need emojis, which you can do on Zoom, but my computer's too far away.
Do you feel like it's getting more and more difficult to send text without adding emojis? Because if you send just irregular words, I automatically think I'm sounding angry or serious. I'm like, no, I'm smiling.
Totally. Yeah, I think so. It's like the escalation because when I I don't know if it wasn't that long ago, like 5 years ago, it used to be like an exclamation point you needed to make anything. But now like we've gone past that, where if you don't add like the little laughing face, people are like, but did you really think it was funny? Because I didn't see
if I get a text from Christina and it doesn't have a pile of shit with a smiley face, I'm like, okay? Is everything okay?
Christina puts it at the end of every sentence, not just at the end of every text message.
And you know, I like the 3 splashes too. Big fan of the poop and the 3 splashes right after. I'm like, that's my Japanese toilet emoji combo.
For the chocolate being pushed out of the pipe, whatever, that looks like diarrhea. What's that, a JPEG or something?
I've even noticed that if you write 3 emojis, they're like nice and cute and big on the line. But if you put 4, then they get closed up in the blue bubble.
Yeah.
Oh.
3 is your
so
limit.
you keep it to 3. Keep it to 3.
You have to keep it to 3 if you're just going to write emojis back. 1, 2, or 3, but then 4, then they all get small. Seems like I got a lot of time on my hands.
Who doesn't?
I feel so extremely immature every time I do an Apple iPhone update because my only thought is I can't wait to see what new emojis come up.
I know.
I'm like, oh, there's a hot dog with onion? What is happening?
I feel like it.
Look like that.
I feel like it, the way it, because I only end up seeing the emojis that are like the recently used ones, so it like reinforces, like I use the same ones. I never see the new ones because I only keep using the same ones over and over again because I never scroll far enough to see past, you know what I mean?
Well, you should, because if you've done an update recently, there's some good ones out there.
All right, what is the best new, let's go to the emoji report with Jen. What is the best new Apple
Well, a lot of the
emoji?
funniest ones, emoji report. A lot of the funniest ones is Apple trying to be politically correct.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Totally.
The happy couple, you got the 2 men, the 2 women, and the man.
Or just a family of 4 with absolutely no gender at all.
Or it's like a polyamorous family. We don't really know.
Right. There's like 6 dudes, 4 women.
And on the
cats.
last recent update, they put the little COVID, that green looking, or sometimes it's red, the COVID ball.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, updates are pretty fun. You got to do it. I know you got kids. You're busy.
Are they gonna like redo all those little group emojis and put masks on everybody's face? Is that gonna be tonight's update?
The mask face would be good.
The mask face. Do you guys? I don't watch that show, The Masked Singer, but since I become a professional burper in quarantine, I'm thinking about pitching a show called The Masked Burper, where like a celebrity is in a costume and they burp, and then we have to guess like, you know, what actor from Modern Family can belch like that.
It sounds ridiculous, like when you're saying that, it's really funny, but it's also like, yeah, why wouldn't I not do that?
It's so bad, some people buy it.
Why wouldn't you do it? We should tell our listeners though, Johnny. Oh, I guess we talked about that when you were on, right, Christina? That you burp on OnlyFans.
I feel like I started
money?
doing that after
that was after.
the podcast.
Okay, you got to talk about. So I don't know. For people who listen to our podcast who don't know, Christina is a great burper, and then she has people pay her to burp on a website that is, I think, mostly reserved for people to like get naked on, right? But you use to burp for money, and people will pay you. What do you, and you get like special requests, like
yeah, I found a loophole in the OnlyFans, but it kind of, you know, it actually, this all blossomed from me and Jen's podcast, because people used to go into the comments and like in the comments there would just be time codes, and then if you went to the time code, it was when I burped. Well, I don't want to brag, but I had a bit of a following. I basically got recruited into the burp fetish world.
Wow.
And then this guy like messaged me on Instagram and was like, have you ever considered selling videos of your burps? And then I screen grab it. I send it to like Jen and a couple of my friends. I was like, do I respond to this? And then all of them are like, what do you have to lose? So I do. I go, just out of curiosity, how much did you pay for my burps? He goes, I don't know. I give you $60 a month. I was like,
what? Oh my God.
I have a gift. So yeah, I joined OnlyFans, and then I've made like, I don't know, I make basically like $1,000 a month burping.
Yeah, but what about the other requests you get? That's what you need to tell them.
I know. You won't be surprised, since this is a crossover episode, you won't be surprised. I also get lots of requests for farts. But I find it very hard to do that on command. Like you know what I mean? I can burp on command, but I can't. No, you're dudes. Can you guys fart on command?
No, there's just a finite amount of.
Excuse me,
down there.
Johnny S. Poopy 311 at AOL.com. Do you want to answer the question?
Because I'm a huge fan doesn't mean I can do it on command.
I want to get back
Your
to
email?
the. I want to get back to this. Oh, what? Sorry.
Is
What
that
did
really
Jen
your
ask?
email?
That's my yeah. That's my job. Hey, don't get excited, listeners. Don't get excited. It's just my spam email.
I love the specific economics of OnlyFans. Like, how much would you pay? It's like such a, and then you get to an actual number. It is so great. $60 a month.
I don't charge that. Trust me, that's the problem with this industry, if I can call it that. It's not like I have a role model. It's not like, you know, like I have this hero
There's
to look up for or look out
Yeah.
to and go, hey, just out of curiosity, how much do you charge for being a professional burper? You know, I'm just getting started. There's like nobody to ask. You just got to pick a number and stick to it.
There's no Kelly's Blue Book on professional burps.
You're trailblazing the industry. Pretty soon that will be its own industry.
It's true. I take them on eBay and just see how much burps are going for, you know.
Would you mind saying what you actually charge?
Oh yeah, I charge $9.99 a month.
Okay.
And so OnlyFans takes 20%. So basically I'm making $8 a month per subscriber. and then you fill out a W-9, which I think is funny that the IRS has like somehow figured out a way to profit off nudes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm not doing it with my clothes off, by the way. I wear clothes.
Right.
Just make cute burping videos, and I really belt them out. Sometimes I burp a song, or I burp a phrase or some words.
You're burping for money with dignity. Okay. There's no nudity. No, but $9.99 is such a great price too, because it's like HBO is a little more expensive than you burping for money, but Netflix is cheaper. So your content is a little better than Netflix, but a little cheaper than HBO.
It did occur to me last week. I was like, it's literally more expensive to subscribe to me than it is the New York Times.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Who knew? Anyways, whatever. You gotta, being that's an oversaturated market. I can't compete. Am I the hottest naked girl out there? Certainly not. Am I the cutest, best burper out there? I'd say I'm in the top 100. Yeah.
I'm gonna say top 10.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jen. That's why I love you. Yeah. My confidence is really, it really has gone up since. I'm like, I can't believe this many people like me for something most people think is gross.
Jen, who are the other 9?
Right. Yeah, even Jen,
wanted
your
to
good
jump
friend, who's
top 1, and Jen's like, no, she's like the top 10. I was like, that's still an insult.
She said top 100. I said top 10.
I know, but yeah, like literally, are there? I assume there probably are like others.
If you've seen our burping contest videos, then yes, there are others.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I listen to your podcast. Every time you let one fly, I'm like, oh, you're giving it away for free here.
I know, you're right. I really shouldn't do that. I gotta hold out now. I did one on the Whiskey Brothers podcast last night. I did their podcast, and they're like, can you give us one burp? And so I burped the Whiskey Brothers, and like, now I'm going to end up a soundbite or something, because they were like, whoa.
Yeah, but it's good advertising.
Yeah.
I think it's decent advertising.
No,
and
you need to start bleeping. You know how like women will blur their feet on Instagram if they have because there's foot fetish people, and they no, I can make money off that. I'm never going to show my feet. You need to do that with your burps. You need to bleep out anytime you burp. You need to bleep it out of the podcast.
Does anybody know how to edit this podcast well enough for me to do that? We could try it here. No, okay,
no, not on my end. No.
If you do figure it out, you got to leave the tail end just as a tease to get them peaked. You're like, ooh, I want to hear what was behind the beat.
Yeah, I think we should only see her mouth, but not hear anything.
Oh, yeah. And really talk about what you had for dinner before you recorded. Oh yeah, I just had a cherry soda and steak, and then they're like, oh my God, it's gonna be, and then don't give it to them. Oh yeah, they'll pay double.
I did put a lot of black beans in my quesadilla. Yeah. really good.
Do you guys pay for burps? What would you pay for?
See, I wouldn't. No, it does nothing for me. I mean, it's impressive, and I salute you, but I have no. I would
I
not.
salute you. I support you.
Yes, I support you and your journey.
Considering that most of the guys on OnlyFans are probably looking for naked women, do you think they're jerking off to burps? What do you think the fetish is for the burps?
That's a great question.
I don't know.
Even I don't know. I just do it.
You don't know? You don't get any. You don't. So
Wait,
nobody
is it a sexual
disgustingly writes to you like, "This is what I do when I watch you burp."
Some guys are really nice about it. They're like, I can't really explain the fetish. I just have it and I'm embarrassed by it. And I hope nobody ever finds out about it. So there's like, I feel like you get like more support in the kink community than you do on YouTube comments. That's for sure. Comedy lovers are, wow, they're ruthless. But these people with fetishes, they're like, thank you, they're so nice. Like, great job. Because they're so embarrassed. One guy did kind of break it down for me. He was like, I grew up in a really religious household, and you know, every girl around me had to be ladylike and wasn't allowed to do this or wear that. And I just find it very exciting when a girl like rebels like that and does something that she's not supposed to do. I don't know.
The reason I'm curious is because a burp is so quick. So I'm like,
yeah.
But are they waiting till they're like almost about to come and then they turn on your burp and that's like the clinger?
That's the big finale.
I just try to do as many burps as I can in 5 minutes, and hopefully somewhere in there. That's the, because at first I was making my burp videos too short.
Oh, you put 5 minutes out?
Yeah, I was making cute little 2-minute ones. Like I remember like here, like I was like burp on a bike, and then burp flying a kite. Like I was like a Dr. Seuss of like OnlyFans.
Oh, wait. No,
and then
yeah, you're doing
$9.99 worth.
And then somebody wrote me, could you make the videos a little longer? And then I was like, oh. So
they were criticizing the plot. They're like, the story just really went nowhere. You're on a bike, and then what? You know, you burp. I get it, but could we have like someone come in, like a pizza delivery guy? Can we do something?
For some reason, I assumed they were like just 30 seconds of burps, but now it makes more sense.
Yeah, no, I keep them between like 5 and 10, and I post maybe like two or three a week. I'd say like 2 a week, and then I might update my story. Like it's just like Instagram basically. So I post maybe 2 or 3 on my main feed a week, and then a couple of cute little burps in my stories, which I don't make that long. Just like if I think I have a big one, you know, it's really weird now. Like, hey, I feel like as a woman, you're always kind of aware of when you're gassy, because if you're around a dude, you're trying to hold it in. And this is the opposite for me, where now I'm like grabbing my phone to tape it. I'm like, oh, I feel one coming. Like, you know, like
I better grab my kite.
A burp in a car, a burp in a bar.
It's like a Dr. Seuss.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so comedy's going great.
Way better than cruise ship.
You know, I like my wheelchair. Oh my God.
Well, does anyone need backup on something? Should we get into the topics?
Yeah, so for the Jill and Off crowd, we do our podcast, Johnny and I, and then we'll have a guest sometimes. We'll try to back each other up. So anything in your life that maybe you feel like you got the short end of the stick on, or your people don't agree with you, me and Johnny, we try to come to each other for backups. Do you guys, does anything?
I definitely have a bunch, but I feel like I just talk too much. So wait, Jen, do you have something you need backup on?
Do yours first, because I don't know this one so well, so I want to hear yours first.
I have like way too many, and they're all about the same person. So maybe it's not like I think most of the things I need backup on, I can't talk about on podcast anyways. What about you guys? You guys we can back up the Cavalry.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, we can do that.
What do you guys need backup on?
Okay, I have a quick one. I can start us off. So I have a friend. Do you guys have a friend? Do you have any friends who like cut off all their social media? Like they're like, oh, I got to get off social media, and then they deleted all of it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have this friend who did that, my buddy Ryan. And then a few weeks ago, he called me. He's like, and this was 2 weeks after we had our baby. He's like, hey, what's going on with Heidi? did you ever have the baby? And I was like, yeah, I had the baby.
Yeah.
We had the baby. I posted it on Instagram, fuck it. And he's like, why didn't you call me? It's like, that's not how this works. You don't get to delete your social media and then get updates from everybody else in your life. Like, you have to take the good with the bad, like, and it was his birthday the other day. And like, I was like, no one's going to remember your birthday anymore. You get off social media, then no one's going to remember your birthday. No one's going to think to like, oh, my kid did something cute. I should text a picture of it to Ryan. Like, no, I'm going to post it once and that's it. And then if you're out, you're out. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, totally agree. I
totally agree too. That's just the world we live in. And was he one of those people that made a big announcement like, I'm leaving social media, I'm leaving Facebook, and just did he like make an announcement?
He didn't do that on social media, but he for sure made a big deal about it like offline. Like when we would hang out, someone would be on their phone or say, oh, you're always on your phone, you got to get out of your phone and live your life, all that kind of stuff. So see,
I like that. I don't like it when people make the big announcement on Facebook how they're leaving Facebook, and then it's like, right. Well, do you want me to like that?
Right, should I share this?
Like, bye, I don't care.
I do have a question now.
Yes.
In defense of Ryan, how close are you guys?
We're pretty close. Like, we're pretty good
friends. You
probably
should text him about your baby if you're pretty close.
But how many people?
Okay, I wouldn't expect to find out about Christina's baby from social media.
I would.
Okay, well, that's a good point. But how long is that list? Okay, how many people? Because, I got to text my parents and my brothers and then, some friends and like family, eventually you have a kid to raise. You can't just be texting everybody.
Yeah, that's true. So I didn't know if he's like your best friend or.
No, he's a pretty good friend. You're shooting some holes in my theory. He's a pretty good friend. But also in my head, it's like you forget that he's not on. So I didn't text like everybody I knew, and not a lot, not even that many. And you think like, if I post this online, then word is going to get out and people will text me, eventually.
Yeah.
I don't think I know this Ryan, but it takes some balls. Someone has a baby and in their response to finding out is, hey, what the fuck? Can you tell me? Come on.
So if you knew Ryan better, that would make perfect sense.
I just think it's funny that he's like, whatever happened to that baby? Like the possible answer could have been, oh, it died, like something horrible.
No, we live in Portland. We got the old 9-month abortion. We were like, we're not into it. We decided we're not going to go that route.
Yeah, we got the 9-month abortion. If you were on Facebook, you would have seen the pictures.
Yeah, I posted it.
I posted about it.
How did you not get that? No, but like people, like it's probably healthier to be off of social media. Like I 100% agree with that. But also, it's like now you're expecting me to do more work. Like your self-improvement shouldn't come at my expense.
Yeah.
Right. Great. See, I won't add any of my family on Facebook or any social media. So I would have to shoot texts to like everybody in my family. Not that I'm having a baby. But I'm just saying I would have to, those to be the main people I would text. And then everybody who I have on social media, I would assume they saw my accident.
I don't know, Christina, you should think about your accident. You should think about having a baby because I can only imagine like the kink sort of fetish nexus that can be an incredible burper and pregnant woman. Like that's got to line up with like such a specific fetish market. I think you could make a lot of money as a pregnant burping woman.
From what probably not enough money to raise a child alone, but
well, more than podcasting.
But I do hear that when you're pregnant, I have lots of friends with kids that you get really gassy when you're pregnant.
Oh, gold
yeah,
mine.
That could be your moneymaker.
Sounds like a gold mine. Yeah.
On
Heidi's second, maybe you should line her up with an account.
And then in month 9.
Yeah. And
go to Portland.
Get off, and then if they're a great burper, bring them back.
Exactly. On month number 9, I'll text your friend Ryan, be like, "Hey, I got something for you." Have mine. It's fine.
Maybe he's one of your OnlyFans, Ryan. Who knows?
I'm always wondering if maybe it is somebody. There's definitely one guy who's like on my Facebook, because then he's on something on social media because he knows what I'm doing in my real life. And I'm like, oh, so there's crossover, but I don't ask questions. I kind of like the anonymity.
Oh, for sure.
Right. I mean, that's the best thing about a pandemic. It's not like somebody can just travel and come and stalk me and see my burps in person. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm kind of protected by this world we're living in right now, especially my followers in Canada, because I'm like, well, the borders are closed. So yeah. Even if you want to seriously stalk me, you can't. So
If I put too much energy into tracking down me and Andrew's listeners, oh, I would have it.
Thank God for this pandemic. Keep those rabid fans away from us.
So wait, Johnny, do you have anything that you need backup? Did we back you up okay? Were we?
Oh,
we
yeah.
Like...
Everyone except for Jen, who really torpedoed me, but that's okay. That's
Jen,
good. Honesty, that's good.
Honesty, because Heidi's always worried that they just like blindly back each other up, and well, they're just, so that was good.
She messaged me and let me know that, and that's why I'm here. I don't know who she is.
No, that was good. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. I'm gonna tweet.
Johnny, do you need any
I got
backup?
This isn't really you know, ooh, who's gonna be on my side? Who's gonna be on? This is more of an observation, but and it's mostly about old people. But don't you think it's time that we officially just say that we're done as a society referring to a face as a puss? You know what I'm talking about?
Not right now.
Is this just my Polish aunts? When you show them your baby and they're like, oh my God, look at that puss. No one's familiar. You remember?
I'm familiar. I'm familiar with it. I am familiar
funny
with
commercials. They get punched in the face, and he'll be like, "Oh, right in the puss."
Oh yeah.
Now I've always heard it like a sour puss. Like if you're making like a sad or moping face, that like, oh, get rid of that sour puss.
Sure, that's an angle.
But I think you're right. I think we're at the point now where if you tried to make a commercial where someone got punched in the face, and you said, "Oh, right in the puss," like censors would be like, No, that is not a common enough phrase anymore. That is very, very old. And now
viewers are not just Johnny's aunts and grandma. There are more people.
Well, and the obvious thing here is that people think you're talking about a vagina. When you say puss, right. They're like,
vulva, vulva, thank you.
I was going to say, I'm not going to back you up. I want to bring this term back. That way, if somebody's like, "Oh, I want to kick you in the puss," I'd be like, "The face, you mean? Okay, fine. Great."
Can I just say something? I think that the whole being corrected when people say vagina and they're like, it's actually a vulva is the new. Did you know Christopher Columbus? We should stop celebrating Christopher Columbus because he was a rapist.
Are people calling it vulva now?
It's the new Christopher Columbus correction.
Well, no, you're saying like you have to be like anatomically precise. You can't just be like her vagina. You have to really know what part of the vagina you're talking about.
I feel like no, because I feel like there's a new wave of people correcting. We're gonna be like, oh yeah, I want to see her vagina. Actually, you mean vulva, because the vagina is actually the tube on the inside. So you're not. That isn't.
Never heard that.
You never heard that? Just wait. You'll start to get corrected.
I'm so sheltered.
I want to say you need to talk about vaginas more, but I don't know if that's the case.
I know. I've started noticing since I'm making these clips for our podcast, I'm like, ooh, these clips might be getting a little redundant.
We literally, you don't have to worry. We literally have to ask ourselves, have we talked about this before we talk about a topic, because we're so redundant. So I think you're okay.
Okay, good. I was texting with Christina yesterday and I felt like it wasn't even a big deal. She's like, I can never say this on the pod. And I'm like, you've literally talked about shitting on the street.
I think I texted Johnny and made him listen to that episode too.
Oh, I did listen to it. I was mowing the lawn, pissing my pants.
I felt like what you texted me about was like so mild that I was like, what? We've talked about everything.
I think for me, it's just like if it's only about me, then I feel like I'm comfortable talking about, I'm comfortable talking about it. But then if it involves somebody else, I'm like, oh, are they going to hear it? And then
Yeah, no, that's.
I think that's all. Even if it's totally disgusting, what I'm talking about, like shitting the street, like I did.
Sorry to bring that up.
It's okay. It's still
going out the next day and taking a picture of it for someone. And it was
I still walk by that building every day and have PTSD. Like, oh my God.
Wait, you walk by, you shit in front of a building that you walk by every day?
Yes.
That is so ballsy. You didn't divert the route a little bit to like talk about protecting anonymity. You're like, oh, I don't want to know if someone knows. But like on your regular walk, you're like, I'm going to take a dump.
That's where
people know me.
I'm really lucky I was wearing a dress. It was the summertime. So it just kind of like.
Yeah. Keep your dignity.
Shot out both sides of my thong, like a man.
Oh my God.
So it just split in two?
Yeah. Oh, it was split in lots of pieces. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
Oh, anyways, ladies, if you're out there and you've ever shit yourself and you have a story, please email us at jillenoffpod@gmail.com. We love your stories.
CC the Cavalry.
Yeah. Johnny and I are always backing each other up, but Christina, the opposite of backed up, dropped. If you've got any stories about.
Oh my God. That's clip-worthy.
Oh, is it clip-worthy? Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God we have one.
Oh my God.
I have a backup, but I don't know if it's so much as a backup or just a question or just
honestly, Jen, this just is a loose excuse to have some sort of format. You can just talk about whatever you want. Don't worry about the rules.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought this was like.
I wasn't worried that not enough people were backing me up about the whole puss situation.
Yeah, Johnny, I think Johnny felt a little lonely there. I don't think.
I wasn't really getting fed up.
I think you have a warped view of how many people are using that word still to mean face because of your specific family. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
I didn't know.
So no fear. Okay, so feel free, Jen.
Yeah, I kind of want to bring it back, to be honest, but whatever.
This is my question. You guys are both married, but you're still dudes. So you can remember when you were single. But if I'm a girl, if I meet somebody and get along really good, and when we text, it's really cool, except I'm the only one that ever initiates the text. Should I just give it up?
Ooh.
Yeah, Johnny, what do you think?
But if I do initiate it, we chat back. It's always like banter back and it's not like
it's a bad sign.
Yeah,
it's a bad sign. I wouldn't invest too much emotionally.
What?
I would not invest too much emotionally in this person if that is the case.
During COVID, because it's almost like that's the only way we talk. You know what I mean? I don't really see the person because.
But I would keep your emotional guard up because if they're excited, wouldn't they?
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Do you just bail completely? Because what's the point of even still talking if?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's up to you. Like, I guess, like it depends what you want, right? Like, if it's you're like, oh, well, this is just fun and I don't mind, and it's like I know this person is like, I'm not gonna like completely like open myself up to it. That's one thing. But if you're like, if I'm looking for something.
I've never like kissed him or anything. It's just during, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just fun,
Then if you have fun texting
them. I don't want to be the weirdo that's always initiating. Then I feel pathetic.
I know what you mean. Yeah. And I felt the same thing. So, and then it's like a pride thing. And then you go, well, I'm not going to text. And then you wait and then they don't ever. And then you're like, well, whatever. I thought of something funny. I'll send this. And so.
And then you're crying.
Yeah. So I would say it's probably like. It's kind of rude. Like, I don't know. I think even if it's a platonic thing, like I think of even with male friends, I've thought of like where I'm the only one who ever makes the effort or whatever. Eventually it does bug me. And I'm like, Well, fuck that. I'm not gonna, keep being the one.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. It happens with just friends too.
I'll start initiate. I could take a hint, Andrew. I'll start texting.
I have to beg Johnny every week to record. I'm like, Johnny, are you there? Do you want to record this week?
Text a little.
Will you be there? I'll send you the Zoom invite, please.
But Jen, have you like tested? Have you been like, okay, I'm gonna go 3 days and just see? Like, have you gone a length of time where you purposely try not to, just to test to see?
Yeah.
If you would initiate? Yeah, and he never does. What's the longest it's been?
mean, honestly, this has only been going on for a few weeks, and 4
It could
days.
be a power move. Like, people are very. I am not. So I've had to learn this as I gotten older. But it's amazing how calculated some people are with that kind of stuff, and it's literally like strategy to where they go, I'm not ever going to be the one to initiate a text because it's a way to control people into thinking about me more often than they would otherwise. And like I said, that's not just with romantic. It is mostly with romantic relationships, I think. But like, I've had other dudes tell me they do that with other dudes. Like, they do that as like an alpha thing. Like, they won't ever send the last text, or they will never initiate the text because they're like, no, I'm gonna make people come to me. It's like this like mentality. It's insane, but it exists more often than I think dopes like me realized until we lived in LA for a while.
Friend.
Yeah, but people do it. It's like a weird. I'm telling you, I think it's crazy. Living in LA like opened my eyes to a lot of stuff like that, and I'm just an idiot,
No,
but
you're not.
People do that. It's crazy how calculated some of it is.
Wow.
This is some
All right.
good mail.
Okay, wait. Let me give you one more stipulation. What if this person brewed beer for a living and could give you a bunch of free beer?
I thought you were gonna be like, and what if this person's name was John Fisher and his social security number was 54? No.
That joke was just for Christina.
We have nicknames for the men we talk about on our podcast. So yeah, but yeah, we call that guy Beer Bro.
Beer Bro.
He really does brew beer for a living, and it's pretty. But that's not. I'm not in it for the free beer. But it's just a funny.
But if you
Does
are,
he hook it up?
like,
Does he
like,
get you free beer? Can he get
Yeah,
you
the
free beer?
first time I met him, he gave me like this case of. He was like, "I just brewed all." No, the guy's super nice. I think he just doesn't care, which he shouldn't, because he doesn't know me. We literally met once because I happened to do one show in November, the last show I've done, and I'm super lonely, so he probably gets like a red flag, like this girl seems too needy or something. I don't know. Who knows? It's COVID. I'm not going to try and explain trying to meet men in COVID. There's no rhyme or reason. So, although
wow.
Christina's done pretty well.
Guys, I don't know. I'll say this. In 2020, a lot of single men, their standards dropped. So my phone's been ringing off the hook. We've been locked in for like 10 months already. I've already had 2 relationships.
You have.
They're willing. Their standards have dropped. They're willing to merely date a top 100 burper in the world, not just the top.
I'm telling you, yeah. It's,
Wait, 2 relationships during COVID. I'm so curious. Like, I guess now people are a little more educated about like what you have to do to be COVID safe. So like your first date, you probably like, let's meet outside or something or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then is there any like after that you just kind of have to trust that the person is being careful?
Yeah, that's the thing. It feels like once you do a few like outdoor dates or whatever, and then once you finally do sleep with them, then you're kind of like, well, I guess you're my bubble boy now. So that's what I call this guy I'm dating. I call him my bubble boy because he's COVID compliant, and I either go to his house or the dirtiest I get is when I get on the subway. Other than that, I'm not hanging out with people without a mask, and I'm always outdoors. So I go for a run and stuff. But anyways, so I might have, 82 things that I need backup on just because I'm so new to sleeping with the same person on a regular basis. It's like
I want to hear
All
one.
right. Well, what do you need? What do you need backup on? What's one of your 82?
okay. Well, this. How dirty should I start? Clean and end dirty? Should we start? Okay, first of all,
It's your discretion.
Trust your
Okay.
instincts.
let's start. I have a few. So one, this is also the first time like I've dated a guy with a job in a long time. So I don't wake up early in the morning. I wake up at like 10 o'clock. Okay, whatever. I go to bed usually like 1. I struggle to fall asleep. Whatever. I toss, I turn, I wake up 2 times and I go pee. Like I'm a bad sleeper. So, anyways, it seems like the time where I'm
a full picture here.
Don't worry, they're always number ones in the middle of the night.
Oh no, they're not. I've heard stories of other ones.
That's true. Unless I'm working on a cruise ship. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my god. Oh my god. The diarrhea Magoo. Oh, that story on the cruise ship. Remember when I got diarrhea in the middle of the night on the cruise ship and I had to crawl over that guy like multiple times to go to the bathroom because I was wedged up on the bed against the window? Oh my god. Johnny B never seen me through some fucking bad pooping stories.
That's why her contact is Diarrhea Magoo in my phone.
Oh my god. Oh, I hope that guy's listening. Oh, I miss dueling piano players. Like I really do. What a time.
First time anyone's ever said that sentence. This pandemic has taken a lot away from us, but I don't think anyone's been like, God, when this is over, I just can't wait to go to dueling piano. Just I want to let loose and
so
give a guy
tired of
$20 to play
roll.
Billy Joel very poorly on a keyboard. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I miss dueling piano. Oh no. No, I mean they're very talented, but Jesus, that's not the first thing I'm gonna go.
You're very talented.
They are very talented. Who am I to talk? I don't know.
Nobody's arguing their talent level here.
Also seem to be a bit alcoholic, but I'm not gonna judge.
Yeah, for sure.
You always-
Dueling pianos, it is like you think comedy is all built around alcohol, and then you watch dueling pianos, they're like, oh man, we got nothing compared to these monsters.
They got their shit together.
They literally get paid in alcohol. They're like, oh, it was a good night. I got 8 shots of bourbon.
Yeah, they get all the free drinks. They get tips, so they're doing
Yeah.
pretty
No, they're
good.
doing good.
Comedians were not allowed to drink, 0 tips, and I can't even sell merch because it's too dirty. Well, my merch.
Yeah. But you could start selling when you get back in business on the ships. If we go back, who knows? But if you ever do, you can start selling burps. VIP
I mean,
burps
I'm
after the
sure
show.
there'll be no shortage on the cruise. Are you guys scared that that work's not going to come back?
I'm kind of planning for it not. I mean, at least in the like medium term future, like year to next couple years.
Yeah, I think at
I
least
think it's
9
dead
months,
for a while.
right?
Yeah.
Mm.
It'll probably be a while.
When it does come back, I'm gonna sell shirts that say on the front it says it's not a vagina. On the back it says it's a vulva.
And I'm going to sell shirts that say, and I'm
I
going to
just
sell.
love. That's my favorite. And then these cruise ship guys, and they go like through like. It's not just you're taking the shirts to like Toledo, right? You have to go through customs in Peru or something, and like some guy's looking at it like, what does it say? And it's like, well, it's actually very funny if you have to know the context. But
I'm gonna sell T-shirts on the cruise ship that just say "Patient Zero."
it's so funny because I was literally, we were on the ship, like Johnny and I, like right before the shit hit the fan. Like we got off right when things were getting. I was making jokes on stage, like I was talking about it on stage. I was like, if anybody I didn't want anyone to admit they had it because I was like, we're gonna get quarantined, we're gonna get,
Just keep it
I don't want to be one of those boats that's floating for 3 months in front of San Francisco. Like, no, just keep that shit to yourself. You cough, you just keep that cough to yourself. Don't tell anybody if you're not feeling good.
I know.
I didn't know it was gonna be like this. Holy.
Oh crap! Should I bring it back to what I was gonna?
Oh yeah, bring it. Sorry, we got distracted.
Sorry,
I got distracted by
good. I
dueling
wanted
piano
to talk
players.
to you guys about that. So anyways, like he has like a 9 to 5. Like he still has like a real job, So, okay, this is what I want back on. I think that if you had a job, and this is what I would do when I had a job, by the way, I'm all about maximum sleep. All right. I set my alarm for the last possible minute it'll take me to get ready for work. You know, like if I work at like, if I have to be out the door at like 9:30, I'll probably set my alarm for like 9 o'clock. I can get up. I'm not going to send it for, sorry, oh God, am I drunk? I'm a lightweight now. I don't know what happened. Okay, here's what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna set the alarm for 8:30 and then hit snooze like 3 times, especially if there's a girl who doesn't have to wake up beside me. Wouldn't you? It's so annoying. I have to hear snooze. I hear that fucking alarm go off like 3 times, and usually a 4th time, because the 4th time he's forgot to turn the alarm off. He's just hit snooze again, but now he goes and makes coffee. So I've heard this alarm like 4 times, and all I want to do is sleep more. Don't you think you should set the alarm for the time you have to get up and not 40 minutes prior to that?
When you were telling the story, I wasn't even considering the neighbor factor. I was thinking, you're out of your mind. Like, I like to hit snooze because it's like a wake up that's like, hey, guess what, buddy? You got to go back to sleep. And that's nice. I wasn't thinking about people next door that would hear it. That's a good point.
Well, I'm getting backed up, aren't I?
Of you, yeah. It's very others centered of you.
It's too bad I can't tell him this. I'm just telling a whole podcast on the internet.
You should you should promote the podcast. Slide a thing under his door and maybe he'll listen to the episode and get the hint.
No, it's not the neighbor. It's my bubble boy.
Oh,
sleeping wet.
She's in the bed.
He's in the bed, so that's why
Johnny has like I Love Lucy brain. He can't contemplate premarital relationships. He's like, well, certainly you weren't sleeping in the same bedroom together. Your next door neighbor must have been the one hearing this alarm.
I was okay. Andrew, you go ahead and back her up.
I was gonna say I do that now, and I've probably been guilty of the exact same thing you're talking about, because like my wife, we like to sleep in, but like if in the old days I'd have a flight, at like 6 a.m. or something, and so I'd get so nervous I would set like 3 alarms because I was nervous about the alarm not going off, which is really nonsensical, because if you actually set one alarm, the phone is not going to forget the alarm. Like, it's not like let me set it 4 times in case the phone forgets. So You're right, and that I'm going to back you up. I'm going to go, you've actually changed my whole perspective on the thing. I've never even considered the fact that it going off is annoying for the person who doesn't have to wake up. So good for you. I'm backing you up. And I'm like, yeah, you don't need multiple alarms. You really don't. Because if you set one alarm, and
Jen
then
has her hand up, Andrew.
Oh, you go, Jen. I'm talking too much. You go ahead, Jen. Sorry.
No, I was just waiting for my turn. I just wanted to let you know I had it.
I know, and I kept pausing weirdly, like certainly this is gonna go somewhere, and it didn't.
All right, Jen, you have the conch.
I just thought it was funny. She's like,
well, I always talk over people. Christina, I'm gonna back you up in a way that you guys have only been dating for like 2 months, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
If he's gonna set an alarm, if you're in a new relationship and you're spending the night and he's gonna set an alarm for 40 minutes before he has to go to work, it should be to have sex.
That's true.
Oh,
and I'll be quite honest, between the hours of 8 and 8:40 or whatever, or 7:30 and 8:10, there's no way I'm gonna be coherent unless you want to fucking do me in a starfish. Like, those aren't the hours that do me anyways.
do you in a starfish?
When a girl just lie there and go like this?
No.
Oh, sure.
You've never heard starfish before?
I just call it something else. I understand.
Is that not a common term? How do you think that a face is called this and you don't know this is starfish?
I think if you're only in a relationship for the first couple of months, there should be some morning sex happening.
Well, morning sex, if you can wake up at 11, I love that. That's fine, but not at 7:30 in the morning.
Well, maybe he's setting it with the hopes of morning sex, but then at 7:40, he's like, "Oh, I'm so fucking tired." You know. You know what's hilarious is I just recently, as Andrew was talking, I put together what you were talking about, and I got rid of the whole neighbor issue, And that's like exactly, but that's exactly what my wife does. Because she'll set it for like 6. She doesn't have to be up till 8. I'm the one, because she's a deeper sleeper than me, so I have to get up, and she has this whole issue of not wanting to sleep with her fucking phone within reach because she doesn't want to get radiation poisoning. So I have to get up, go in the bathroom where it's plugged in, turn it off, and then just throw it at her head. So the next few times it goes off, she can turn it off herself. So I totally back you up.
And then you guys have morning sex.
After I hit her in the head with the phone, I'm like, oh, you're up. Oh, wow.
It's funny because I don't sleep with my phone in the room either because I'm too like scared that another guy's going to text me late at night. So I leave it in the living room.
Well, so what if he does? You don't trust yourself to not control yourself to not respond?
No, because he'll see the text, right? Like you don't want this guy to see what some other guy's texting you.
To be honest, my dad is notorious for texting me after midnight. It's like, I don't know why he doesn't know I'm in a different time zone because he's in Vancouver, Canada. And I say that for my Portland friend here, Vancouver, Canada. But yeah, him and my Auntie Marion are always texting me at like midnight and 1 a.m. But, you know, the guy beside me in bed, he doesn't know that, you know. I can't be like, don't worry, it's my dad. He'll be like, sure, you know.
Yeah.
Also, here's the other crazy. I won't let this guy. So this is another thing. Maybe I need back up on. So this guy that I've bubbled with for the last couple months, I don't want him to follow me on social media. I don't think he needs to see what I'm doing here.
Does he know about your livelihood?
Yes, he knows about OnlyFans.
Okay. But then what else could be on social media that you're afraid he'll see?
I think I act like an idiot pretty much 90% of the time on social media.
Who the hell doesn't follow the person they're dating on social media?
Well, and also, don't you stalk them? You've like at least, maybe you don't officially follow them, but you've at least checked out his, pages or something?
I didn't. I went on a real blind date. The only thing I had to go on, because it was kind of like a setup from a sorority sister in Canada. So she's like, you go check on my cousin in Park Slope. I don't think he's left his apartment in like 8 months. I was like, okay. So we went to a couple outdoor dining dates or whatever. But yeah, I never added him on social media. He did say he checked out my feed. So he did see that I had OnlyFans connected to it. And then I told him, but then he's like, but then I saw that you were just burping. And then I was like, oh, whatever. So, and now he just burps more in front of me.
Oh, no. Is he trying too hard?
Nah, I don't know. I think I think he knows he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. But the irony now, and this is what I could also use backup, that I don't want to be the fucking girl who needs so much fucking backup that I should just go and see a therapist. But here's the other crazy thing. So I get the notion, he's pretty fancy. Like he has a Japanese toilet. He's really organized, nice place. Again.
Second mention of Japanese toilet. Totally unrelated to the last mention of Japanese toilet, but go ahead. Just want to point that out.
But I get the feeling he's definitely the kind of girl that wants a girl to be a girl. Just the same
kind of girl that wants a girl to be a girl.
Definitely the type of guy that wants a girl to be a girl.
He's sorry, did I say girl?
Oh, Andrew, yeah. He's the type of girl that wants a girl.
He's the type of girl who wants a girl to be a girl. Except for when it comes to himself, where he's okay with being a girl as a guy.
Johnny's face was the best. Christina said that and he just went like this.
Johnny couldn't even put together that they were sleeping in the same bed. How's he supposed to understand that the girl is a type of girl that wants a girl to be a girl? I had that problem
twice, and then when she said getting a text, I'm like, what's the problem with getting a text? Oh,
it could be my wine buzz kicking in, but I think he wants a girl. Sorry. Yeah, so I think he's the kind of guy who wants the type of girl who is a girl. Do you know what I mean? I think he's like a girl who doesn't poop, who doesn't fart, who's shaves her vagina like more than twice a year. Like, I think he just wants like a very feminine kind of chick. And I am not that gal. And I hate to say it, but like, if I have to go number 2, I want to just like let you know. Like, I don't want to have to be all dainty about it. And like, oh, I have to go home now. Like, why? Oh, I just have to. Like, I'm not going to go at his house. Like, some chicks won't even go to a guy's house. So I've started to like, and we've talked about this on our podcast, but I've slowly started to like work him into it, like slowly. I've been like, if I have to go to the bathroom, it's usually in the morning. It's usually after coffee. I'm very regular. I'll just be like, oh, I have to go move some product. and then I go to the bathroom. Like,
I have a question.
I'll be like,
Japanese toilet, does it handle oily shits well? 'Cause
I'm in there. I'm like, where'd you leave the remote to the Japanese toilet?
How powerful would you say these things are? I mean, just on a scale of 1 to 10.
I haven't tried it because I don't want to have to fucking ask him for instructions. I don't want to be like, hey, can you come in for a minute and show me how this thing works? Like,
You're like looking up YouTube videos of the product, how to operate. Wait, no, I just want to go back real quick because Jen said something that made me laugh so hard because Jen said that, Christina, you were worried this guy was burping around you. Like, because you know when you're a comedian and you're dating someone and they're trying to be funny because you're also a comedian? That is so funny that if you're a burper, that someone tries to burp and you're like, come on, just leave the burping to the professionals.
Andrew, that's exactly what I do though. I go, oh my God, like that burp's so sad. Like, don't even. I could burp on the other side of the house and he can hear it.
It's like you're embarrassing yourself. You don't have to try. Okay, I'll do the burping for both of us. Don't worry.
You don't have to get in on this. Oh my God. So yeah, anyways, but don't you think that, like, I don't know, he's confident with the burping in front of me now, but for some reason I just think, like, anytime I talk about pooping, and I've talked about this on the podcast with Jen, even if I'm being like coy about it, like, oh, I have some re-gifting to do, you know, whatever I go with in the flow, always the same reaction. He always goes, gross.
Oh, so he lets you know that he doesn't like it.
Oh yeah.
Is it a sincere gross or is it like a funny gross? Like gross.
Oh, when you said that on the podcast, I thought he was being funny.
I can't tell.
Because that's a determining factor. The tone.
Everybody, I mean, it's not comfortable, but everybody has to. Oh, I thought you. Oh God, I totally thought that he was being funny. If he's being serious, that's kind of.
I just can't tell.
Well,
He obviously has to when you're there for 4 days. Does he? What does he do?
I mean, then you can't deny. Like, what kind of monster is going to hold in a poop for 4 days?
but there's a
excited
big
to go.
gap here between like just literally pooping, because everyone does it. I think it's all, I'm going to agree with you on both points. I think it's insane to leave an apartment to go to the bathroom. Like, if there's a bathroom in that apartment, just use that bathroom for whatever you need. That 100% with you on. But also that's a big leap then to announcing every time you have to take a shit. Like, there is a middle ground where you could just go and not tell everybody what you're doing. And as you're doing it, be like, it's coming. Don't worry. It's going good in here. Like, there is some middle ground there.
I think girls in general just do kind of announce it and men just go. Like, even when you're at a restaurant or something, like a girl will be like, oh, I have to go pee. And then we go to the bathroom. Whereas a man doesn't even tell you he's leaving the table. He just like stands up and walks to the bathroom, like mid-conversation. Yeah. There's no announcement at all. So you're right. Men are better with not announcing it. I don't know. I announced my number ones and then...
It's not like you don't know, and he comes back, where did you go for that 8 minutes? Why are you all sweaty?
Why is my Japanese toilet malfunctioning?
Yeah.
I think once you're in a relationship for a while and you guys are married, so then it's just funny. But it is, to me, it's very stressful in the beginning of a relationship. Like the first time you spend like 3 days at someone's house, especially if they have an apartment.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no way, they're not going to hear it. That's embarrassing. Even though we all know that everybody has to poop, it's still like so embarrassing.
No. And you do all the tricks, like you can leave the water running or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's all fruitless,
It is.
And the Japanese toilet has the water that runs the second you sit down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know if it's supposed. Yeah.
They're years ahead of us.
I gotta move to Japan.
I know. Oh my God.
Yeah, forget the fact that they like handled COVID so much better than us. Like, no, they're toilets.
Oh.
Well,
And then I had one more thing that I want to back up on. Well, all right, it's 2 more, but this is too many now. Like, I know we've already hit an hour. But the one last thing that he does is he like talks at the TV. And like, it's one thing to talk at sports and maybe at the news, because that's like a lot right now. But I think you can talk at characters, at like shows that you really have to follow the plot on. So because I have karaoke ears, I always get him to turn on the subtitles for me. But seriously, I need them because like he keeps talking over all the shows.
So like what? Give me an example. So like he's watching like whatever.
We're watching The Flight Attendant, and then he'll just.
I watch it.
Yeah. So I'm really into it. I want to watch it. Like I don't want to talk when I watch TV. I like want to follow the plot. But he keeps talking over it. Like I wish I could give you a good example, but
oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'm
like, don't go in there, or is he like commentating like, oh, that's bullshit. A person would never do that. Like, what do you mean?
Or like when we're watching The Crown, then like this every time John Lithgow talks, he has to impersonate him. He'll like, "Rawr!"
That's a terrible
impression.
I feel like every time he sees a hot girl, he's probably like, but she doesn't poop.
Uh,
That was so hacky. Call me out.
no, it is. It's very annoying. People talk during the show, and plus, especially now with it's so easy to pause. If you really have to say something, you can pause it and be like,
That's true.
"Oh, actually, is this the actor from whatever?" Like, just pause it for 2 seconds.
Yeah. So
I'm with
anyway,
you.
Thanks, guys. Sorry, I think that was a lot. And then I have one more thing I want to back up on, but it involves Jen.
I don't need an apology.
No, but this is we have to get away from me and whatever I'm doing in my dating world. But this one I thought would be interesting, and maybe we'll close on this because I know I've babbled a lot. So because you know sometimes Heidi's always like, you guys blind. I feel like this has been a fair episode where we've all backed each other up fairly, and we go, well, maybe we'll push back a little bit.
And
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think everyone's been honest, but then encouraging. It's been good.
Okay, so the second I start this one, Jen's gonna know what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, so I've been outdoor running lately. Okay, and I am loving the Nike Run Club app.
Me too.
Okay, are you on it?
Yeah, we gotta follow each other. I don't understand how it works, but
Oh my God, I'm so excited. So do you know that you can add friends on the app? Jen's already laughing. She knows where I'm gonna go with this. Okay, so wait. Do you have friends? Like, do you have a leaderboard?
Like, when I run, my brothers and sister-in-law are notified, but I'm never notified when they do. Maybe they're just not running.
Oh, I don't get notifications when people run, but but I see the leaderboard, so I know how much we've been running all month, right? Because you're kind of in a competition with all your friends. So I make Jen join because I'm like, oh my God, this has been so motivating for me. I've never been an outdoor runner, and this app is just since the summertime I've been running. Especially in New York, I'm not going to join a gym or anything. No. So it's brought me a lot of joy. And I'm not going to lie, in the beginning, I was doing pretty good. Like on the leaderboard, I have maybe like 12 friends. I'm always in like the top 3. So I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm running at least like 5K every day, doing my best. So I got Jen to join. And also another one of my friends who's a podcast listener, so he's going to hear it too. And they are doing so good. Like they're killing it. They're like surpassing me by so many kilometers/miles. And so I messaged Jen and I'm like, dude, you're crushing it. I'm so proud of you. And then she goes, actually, I've just been walking. I've been tracking my walks. So I'm like, I only turn on the app if I run. It's Nike Run Club, like I'm fine. I'm fine at losing. Like I am not a sore loser. I'm one of the best losers of all time. But I feel like I am losing unfairly right now because they're walking and I'm running. I'm only tracking my runs. What do you think?
I'll tell you what, I've been thinking that you're pretty pissed off about that. Last time you told me. I thought it was just a way to track your mileage that you go. I didn't know it was a competition and stuff. So actually yesterday, I didn't even turn it on because I'm like, I'm going to give Christina a day. I thought it was like the monitor on your iPhone where it'll tell you how many steps you took.
Yeah, no, I think the iPhone and like the Fitbit has changed. Like I would have thought the same thing, Jen, because like it just becomes steps. Like you're always worried about.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah. But you guys, okay, it's called the Nike Run Club app. It's not called the Walk and Shaw Walk Club app.
I'm gonna delete it right now.
No,
No, you can't delete it. I want you on it. I want you to run. And then she tells me she actually has trained for marathons. I know you can run. I just think that you're.
Need marathons. I just don't run during I have COVID depression. I just walk.
Oh, I think the running will make you happy. I want you on the app. I don't want you to leave it, but I think if you're going to start the app, I think you have to be running and not walking.
Well, that's why I'm not going to do it because I don't. I do a 2-hour. Sometimes I run. I do a lot of walking.
I get
Right.
it. I can turn off the app.
I knew that you were going to be pissed about that app. I knew it.
A silly piss, not a real piss, guys. I love Jen Murphy more than life itself.
But yeah, if you're competing for running purposes, then yeah, I would technically be cheating or something because I'm going further than you.
You should download the Under Armour Track My Run app. That way you can keep your walk separate, and then if you run, you can appease Christina's weird competitive side.
Johnny, I'm just gonna download the seniors walking app, and I'm gonna kick all their asses.
If only there was a way for us to have two different runners compete against each other to see who is the fastest. You know,
No,
I just wish we had history in some way we could have come up with some sort of competition where runners could compete to see who is faster than the other runner.
Someday.
Someday.
Andrew.
We will figure out a way
You can dream it. It will
to
happen.
accurately come up.
And the other guy who's walking on the app, he's going to hear this too.
I would, yeah. There, I guess it should be separate, but like, also, isn't the app like telling you other?
It tells Christina that I did a 14-minute mile, so it does tell her.
Yeah, so you know.
That's not true. It doesn't tell me how fast you're going. It tells me how many miles you ran. Well, I'm Canadian, so I'm in kilometers. But so look at this.
Well, that's cheating too.
Oh, okay. See, on my end, it tells me how slow I'm going, so I figured you knew that.
Oh no, I don't see how slow you're going. See, there I am. Look, fitness guru.
Who's John Compliment?
Oh, he's like a real marathon.
Oh, okay.
He's my actual runner friend in Toronto. Then there's Jen Murphy. Then there's our other podcast listener who he's walking too, though. That guy's walking too. You know who you are. And then there's some other friends. Johnny, I got to get you on here.
I know, but I don't know what kilometers are.
Careful, Johnny. She'll come after you.
But it's the only thing that's really motivated me to keep exercising during this pandemic. That actually has motivated me, that app. I've never been a runner.
I mean, the last year I've been running. I've never ran before, and I use that app every time.
Don't delete it.
If I couldn't have, there it goes.
Done.
That's it. I'm deleting mine too.
I'm deleting the podcast app. Watch this, everybody.
And then I cut you off, Johnny. Sorry, keep going.
What?
I said then I cut you off.
Was that, first of all, was that for the week or the month, that number?
That was for the month.
Okay. Yeah, I know, but for the year I started running, and I wouldn't be able to run if I didn't have my music or the Nike Run app to tell me my pace and my distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
very casual power move by Johnny there to go, oh, is that for the week or the month? Oh, the month? Oh, how quaint.
Well, that's only because I don't know what kilometers are.
Oh, yeah.
The conversion afterwards.
He's like, that could be thousands of miles. I have no idea.
Oh no. So now I'm gonna lose Jen, and then I'll gain Johnny, and then now Johnny can kick my ass.
Not if you're doing a 5K every day. No, I do like 2 or 3 miles every other day.
Oh, that's about the same as 5K, and I only run on days where it's warm enough to run.
Oh, okay. I actually like to run in the cold. Put on a sweatshirt, and then every neighbor that's outside is like, "Oh my God, you must be freezing."
No, it has been good, but I won't go running if it's under 4 degrees Celsius.
It's John Lithgow. That's my neighbor, by the way.
You have such weird motivations. You're like, I need my Nike app, I need my music, and I need my neighbors to think that I'm colder than I actually am. That's what that's my motivation.
That's what got me into running.
Sometimes I just have to picture them. You're too cold, Johnny. You'll never be able to run this block.
Wait, Johnny, where are you living?
I'm in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh.
As of for about a year and a half now.
Oh, I went there once. That place was nice. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I love it. I love living here more than anywhere else I've lived.
Yeah, it's got to be cold. I don't want to brag, but I opened up for Eliza Schlesinger in Madison, Wisconsin.
Ooh.
Was it cold
I got
then?
to watch her dog. No,
No,
but
Eliza-
I did walk around Madison. It was beautiful.
That's so nice.
Did you go? Did they storm the Capitol there in Madison, Johnny? Did you
Yes.
see any of that?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No.
Recently, I don't know. But before, like when they stormed the Capitol, they put a bunch of extra precautions. So no, they didn't do it here.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm guessing this will come out after tomorrow, so we won't. Are you guys worried, or do you think?
yeah. Let's make. This is good. We'll make predictions on what's going to happen, and then if we're right, we'll leave it in, and if we're wrong, we'll just cut this part out.
Get it?
If we're right, the CIA will break into our front door. and say, "How did you know?"
No, I think it'll go smooth because it's like that thing where like they weren't ready for it, and then they got their asses kicked, but then they get too ready for it, and then no one shows up. It'll be that thing like where everyone's standing around like, boy, they really overdid it with security or whatever, but it'll be good because nothing will happen.
That's
what-
exactly what I thought today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the same thing too. Although I did have one friend message me who's like a little more into conspiracy theories and was like, you might want to stock up on soup and beer just in case.
Get to that point.
Yeah. You can ride out any emergency with soup and beer.
That's what people think. But yeah, I feel like it's gonna go smooth too. I think it's gonna be fine. Lots of
Oh,
security. It's yeah.
Nothing but
Yeah,
smooth
yeah,
sailing
agree.
from here on out. Well, this was so much fun.
This
Holy
was.
crap.
Yeah, we should try to do this weekly.
I did love it how last week you guys ended your episode with like, "Oh, it's so good to be at home. No guests bogging us down." And then today it's like, "Oh, and now we have 2 guests this week."
We
And
love
don't
it.
forget to rate and subscribe to the Cavalry and to Jill and Off.
Yeah, how do they subscribe to Jill and Off?
The same way they subscribe to the Cavalry.
At iTunes.
Oh, what's
On
your,
iTunes.
do you guys have social media things? We don't. Do we even say ours? We don't say ours.
You have a little thing on the top of your episodes where Andrew goes, "Please rate and subscribe. If you give us 5 stars and let us know what you need backup on, me and
Is that
Johnny will
right?
address it in a future episode."
It's funny you mentioned that because we have 2 comments that we have not gotten to yet, but we will get to them next week. We didn't want to bog down this crossover app with these stupid listener comments. But next week we're gonna they're great. We love them.
We didn't want to bog it down with the stupid listener comments we've been begging for every episode.
Have you
No, see,
guys
that's the
rated?
power move.
Yeah,
Have you guys rated Jill and Off yet?
I think I
did
have,
when
but I will
I
double check.
found about
Oh
it.
yeah!
Oh yeah.
So exciting. I know I rated you guys a long time ago, but I should do it again. We should all rate each other all the time.
Everyone rate everybody. It's gonna be one big rate fest after this.
That sounds okay. It was really
Okay.
fun. I'm so glad you guys wanted to do this.
So
Oh, yeah.
fun.
This was
Right.
great. All right,
This was-
everybody.
The critic was on The Simpsons.
I know. Or when Angela, when Murder She Wrote was on Magnum PI. Okay.
Full circle. That was
Yeah,
smooth.
full circle.
I'm totally taking some photos.
Oh yeah, I should do that too, for promo purposes.
I don't know if they're gonna. Hopefully
Come on,
they'll.
everybody. All right.
I know, because I always do the screen grabs for the YouTube covers, and I try to find the dumbest looking faces we make. I just like go throughout the video and see when we look the dumbest and try and get those. So
Oh, I feel like I always look
Good
dumb in
plan.
photos, but I'm gonna take one more. I didn't like the other ones. I only took
Oh.
10. What the fuck did I do? I put it in portrait. That's why. Okay, we're almost done. Oh god.
One person comes out clear.
Hold on. I know.
Blurred.
Must have just background. It's just Christina, and we're all background blurry.
she's just
Oh, next time I'll do the
photoshopped her
podcast
headshot
over.
into the corner. And the rest of us are from the pod. Podcast over? Did we end it yet?
So
I
he,
did.
well,
I stopped recording.
All right. Well, that's it.